First of all, I would like to thank the organizers who invited me for today's program. To start with, I would like to introduce, I'm basically from Kashmir. I come from a family of engineers who have all been a part of this institute, the erstwhile REC. So I was the lone person who chose medicine as my profession. So it was a sort of a journey for me where I had no good godfather or any help from any family member who would have let me establish. So all the way from right my school, I have been taking risks, and as of now, they are coming off quite well. So I have been a student of Tendal Bisco School. I studied till 12th, and it was in a torrid time during the whole turmoil. Once our schools were off, we were not going to schools, and it was a torrid time. I hope no one sees that kind of schooling in his lifetime. So I'd like to go through my journey, how I started and how I finished where I am right now. So once I finished my schooling, I passed my 12th class. So there was no guidance for me anywhere, where to go, what to study, because at that time I had opted for both medicine as well as engineering. So after completing my 12th, we went for uh, sort of a coaching to outside the state. Our entrance examinations, I think, were around 3 months or 3.5 months after that. And so once we started in a reputed coaching institute in Delhi, we were around group of around 50 students there. We had to complete the syllabus of, I think, 2 years in a span of 90 days. That was a 90-day course. So once we started, in 4 or 5 days, we could not cope up with the pace, and around 90% of the people then started enjoying their life there and got off the studies. But we were a group of 4 people. I think one of my dear friend, his brother is a faculty member, a head of department here in the NIT this time. So we decided that we would come together and study together in one room and let us see what happened. And fortunately, we were able to cope up with the pace of the institute, and all of us somehow managed to get selection in all reputed colleges all over India. I got selected as an external candidate in Aligarh Muslim University in 1997. I think I was the only one from J&K to be selected as an external candidate at that point of time. I finished my MBBS in 2002. Then I started to explore what to do after that. During my internship, I managed to pass the licensing examination of UK, US, but a thought came to my mind, why not be in Kashmir? Although all my classmates, I think those who have studied from here or Government Medical College, Srinagar or anywhere, are in outside countries. So once I passed the examinations, I thought, let me give it a try at Kashmir. So I appeared for the entrance examinations here for my post-graduation as well as in Aligarh. Alhamdulillah, I got a very good rank in that. And then once I had gone for the counseling, I could have got all the branches what I would have liked, except for radio diagnosis, which was only, I think, one seat available at that point of time. So I went. There were a group of experts in front of me. I told them I want pulmonary medicine, what I'm a pulmonologist right now. So they saw me, they told me, you go back, think over it again, come back after 10 minutes, talk to your parents. You are getting so many branches which are way ahead of the what you are opting for. I told them, no, I want to go for it. They did not let me do it. They told me, no, you go out, think over it, discuss with the seniors, discuss with your parents, and then come back again. And there was an option that I could have, at that time of, that point of time, there was an option of having a option of changing your branch if some other this seat would have got vacant. I told him, no, you fix it at this point of time. I want to continue it. So after completing my MD from Aligarh Muslim University, then I had an option of, and rather a privilege of having fellowships in interventional pulmonology and critical care medicine from Italy, from US, and then once I came back to Kashmir, strangely, I could not join any institute for a period of 6 months because there was no job. Then, fortunately, I got on the post of senior resident in 2008, and I worked for a salary of around 8,000 rupees for a period of 1 year. At that time, it was a dream for me because the hospital, which I don't know how many of you knew about it, the chest disease hospital, which is an associated hospital of Government Medical College Srinagar. I think most of the people were afraid of going there since they thought it as a tuberculosis sanatorium. So all the people were thinking that that's an infectious disease hospital, and I think till we got COVID, I think hardly most of the people must not have known where the hospital is. Anyway, so I worked as a registrar for a period of 1.5 years in the hospital, and unfortunately that hospital was just like a dispensary. It was working from a 10 to 2, no infrastructure, nothing of any sort was there where I could practice as a pulmonologist for what I was trained for. So I continued working, trying my bit to improve in whatever manner I can, till I got the privilege of heading the department in 2014. And that's where I thought that now it's a time, some things are under my control, so I would like to contribute to my society. I graduated and post-graduated from. So we had an ideological coincidence, and we thought of developing the hospital. And alhamdulillah, except for the infrastructure in terms of building, I think we as a team have been able to build up the internal infrastructure of the hospital which is comparable to any leading tertiary care hospital of the country. There are some equipments which are available with us, which are only available in All India Institute of Medical Sciences and CD Hospital. So I find myself proud to have achieved this bit. So coming on to the experiences during the COVID pandemic, which I was told to talk about. When COVID started, incidentally, when the first case of COVID was detected in the whole world, I happened to be at that place. So I was in China at that point of time when the first case was detected. Fortunately, I managed to come back before it was declared as a pandemic. So once I came back, so there was a scare that we might be having these kinds of patients anywhere, although there was very least possibility of it, or people believing that it could actually turn out into a huge pandemic. So to start with, our erstwhile Principal Government Medical College Srinagar, he decided that let's keep a ward, because there's a scare, let's keep a ward in the main SMHS hospital for the purpose of this COVID, just for the name's sake. Anyway, a ward was designed at that point of time for these COVID patients. But as the scare increased and we started having cases in the country, I think steps were taken at the outset at that point of time regarding the investigative diagnostic facilities for these COVID patients. And I thought, well, this COVID is primarily a respiratory disorder. So I think the onus might come to us. At that time, you can yourself imagine what kind of scare was there in the minds of the people. They thought that COVID is a deadly disease and getting COVID means a death sentence to start with. Because at that point, there was no treatment available, there were nothing was known regarding the disease. So before it could turn out that it would turn into a pandemic, I got along my whole team of pulmonologists who were working with me. I told them that I think this disease is going to create havoc and come to us too. So we might be given an onus to take up the responsibility. I think, are we all ready for it? So they all agreed. In the inner of hearts, I think they might have known that, oh, I don't think this is going to come here. What's there in saying no? What's there in saying, okay, we'll agree to you, whatever you say. So then we had a meeting, I think when uh, the in the month of March, when COVID really started, all the neighborhood went to the local administration, told him, भाई एक बंदा आया है, ये दुबई से आया है, इसको खांसी हो रही है, शायद कोविड लेके आया है. So virtually he was virtually he was arrested and brought to our hospital. The ICU which we had made basically for the H1N1 pandemic, it was a state of art ICU in our hospital. So we had to house a normal patient in that room to start with. So at that point of time, my residents, my senior residents, and all the juniors thought that, oh, इसने तो बला आफत लाई हॉस्पिटल में, अब तो मर गए. But I told them, nothing doing. You are not the persons who are going to go there. We as seniors, we will don our and we will treat them. You don't go there. And that's how we started. Once we went, because there was a lot of scare at that point of time, so we donned that PPE kit. And I think at that point of time, it was a sort of a horrifying experience for us too. We were just like in space suits. And when the patient saw us, he got up frightened. He thought that some aliens have come to meet him. So we inquired the history of the patients from him. He told me, मैं मर जाऊंगा, यहाँ नहीं बैठूंगा. मुझे कौन सी ऐसी बीमारी है जो आपने मुझे पकड़ के रखा है. So he tried, you will not believe, he tried to go away and virtually jumped out of the window to get. I told him, no, you can't go. You have been brought, you have not come of your own will. You have been brought by the police. If you are going to go, the police is going to catch you and come back. So anyway, as time progressed, the cases increased, and we primarily, as doctors, have the responsibility of treating a sick patient or an ill patient. So once this was a COVID was totally a new experience for us, because at the initial point of view, once anybody was declared a suspect or anybody was coming from outside the country, from a COVID hit country, he was put under sort of a hospital quarantine or hospital isolation, whatever you call it, and he was put to us. And at that point of time, they did not have any symptoms or had mild symptoms, even if somebody was detected as positive. Ideally, such patients don't need admission, and we are not used to treat such patients. So, actually, it was a mental thing rather than a expertise that we had to do at that point of time. The patients who were admitted with us just did not want any kind of treatment. They wanted facilities. So imagine a person who is used to live in a five-star hotel room, put in a ward of CD hospital where you occasionally find rats and cats coming around. So they were demanding the luxuries of life. So we had to arrange their own choice of toothpastes, their own choices of towels, and own choices of food. इसमें नमक ज़्यादा है, इसका नमक कम है, इसका टूथपेस्ट का टेस्ट अच्छा नहीं है, मैं ये ब्रांड यूज़ नहीं करता हूँ, मेरे को वो शैम्पू चाहिए. Imagine that what we as doctors had to do at that point of time. And at that point of time, there was nothing, no friends, no relatives, nobody coming on to the hospital to the rescue of anybody. They were just at our sort of a mercy. Anyway, as the time progressed, we saw that the policy of hospital isolation vanished and only sick patients came out to the fore. At that point of time, if you can imagine, to start with, once we started getting those severe COVID patients in our hospital. Imagine you don't know how to treat them. There was no treatment available. It was all research what was going on at that point of time. And by the grace of God and best wishes from all and support from the administration and the government, I think our hospital was the hospital not among the UT of J&K, but on the whole country. I think ours has had the least mortality rate in the whole country. Anyway, it has been a great experience, a learning experience during these COVID times, and I think what I would advise my young brothers and sisters who are here, that you should work according to your mind. Whatever you enjoy, whatever you work, whatever work you enjoy, you do that. As my worthy speaker Akib Saab told, he had during his schooling, one would say he was a failure or a mediocre, whatever you like to say, but see what he has achieved in life. So do what you enjoy. Don't go by your, don't go by the guidance of others. You do whatever you like. If you enjoy your work, you will be successful. And regarding achieving something in life, what I think money, no doubt, is essential for life. You have to earn to sustain in life. But ultimately, it's your inner satisfaction which you should be able to achieve